Oh, hello there. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Johanna Banana. Ruby and I were just doing a little bit of light reading. No, I just always wanted to do that. One of those things where it's like you see on the TV and they're like having a sip of coffee or they're reading a newspaper and the camera scrolls on them and they're like, oh, hello, like all casually. I just wanted to do that, have fun with it. Anyways, let's do the recap. Aiden, check it out. I got a new recap hat. Actually, it's not new. It's one that I found when I was cleaning out my closet. It's my old Halloween hat. Yes. Isn't it me? So me. My favorite color. And here's one of my purple highlights. So people, I've done some research about these highlights and dyeing my hair purple because I thought, how fitting is this, right? I'm going through my midlife crisis. That's what I'm going through, this midlife crisis, my whole new chapter of my life here. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I did purple highlights? And, you know, my Valentine's Day greeting, I had the purple highlights and I was trying it out and I thought I could do it permanently. Well, after I've talked to some people and done some research, I found out how much freaking work it is to do this permanently in your hair. Here, Ruby, have a purple highlight. And I decided I just don't want to, I'm too lazy. I don't even own a hairdryer, okay? I am just too lazy to do the whole upkeep of purple highlights because one, with my dark hair, you gotta bleach. And two, I found out that purple dye doesn't last in your hair for very long. It like washes out after, I don't know, a couple weeks. And so anyways, it's a lot of upkeep and I think I'll wait until I go gray and then maybe I'll color my hair then. I don't know. But for now, clip-on central. Maybe I'll get some different colors. I don't know. I'm having fun with it. They're not bad. It's just, I kind of wanted it more permanent because I can't brush my hair with these in. It's really hard. Anyhow, so this is episode 14. I can't believe this is episode 14. And we are on number 5 of my guys. And thank you guys so much for watching my last episode. Aiden was like, this is the longest episode we've ever done. Apparently it was 40 minutes because I couldn't shut up about comic book store guy. So thank you. I keep trying to make my episodes like 20 minutes, but as you know, I have a really hard time shutting up. So some of my episodes have gone over. This episode I am going to try to make it short, hopefully. And next week we are doing our pet episode. I'm going to do another pet episode. I had a lovely dinner last weekend with KP and her babies, and we did an episode. I did an interview with her dogs, and I'm hoping to get another interview set up next week too, because I really want to do another pet episode. There were some pictures. We had 2 huskies with the same name, and so one of the huskies, 2 Skylar huskies, one of the huskies wasn't in the photo slideshow. And then I totally missed one of my favorite dogs, Miss Breezy Wind. I totally miss Breezy. They weren't in the episode either, so I've got to get them in the episode. One of my friends has horses. I missed her horses. Anyways, we're going to be doing pet episodes, I think, throughout my shows because being a dog groomer and having all these pets and everything, it's just, pets are important to me. So next week we're going to do a pet episode, but let's get into the 5th guy here. Okay, let's get into the 5th guy. Yeah, number 5. Okay, so after the comic book store guy, I did not take a break. I will admit that after my divorce, I was a serial dater. Like I was going from, screw you, moving on, go to the next. I was doing that. I finally did break that cycle. We're not at that point yet, but I finally did break the cycle and I forced myself to be alone for, I think a year or so I was alone. But at this time I was going from one relationship to the next because I didn't I couldn't handle being alone. Okay. And I was still screwed up from my divorce, and I was so screwed up after Comic Book Store Guy because the guy watched porn in front of me twice, cheated on me with baby mama. So yeah, I was still screwed up, and not addressing the situation at all, which is why I ended up getting into my next relationship and putting the guy on a pedestal that he didn't deserve to be on, but I put him on that. So that's what happened. So after I dumped Comic Book Store Guy, I went back online and I found this one guy that I thought was so cute. Oh my God. I was not attracted to Comic Book Store Guy. I don't go off of just looks. It's really more the person, because looks are very, very fleeting. We're all gonna get old, wrinkly, and gross, okay? We are. So you better like that person that's inside that body that's gonna get old and gross and wrinkly, okay? That's my view. And with me, and I don't know if other people are like this, but with me, when I get to know somebody, they become more attractive. So if I'm not initially attracted to them, I'm not like, oh damn, hello. Ada knows that when I see a cute guy, that's what I say. I'm like, oh damn, hello. I won't ever say it to their face, but that's what I say to Ada or myself. Yeah, that's different. But there's guys where it's like, yeah, they're okay, but I get to know them and they become really hot. Okay. Now, Comic Book Store, I wasn't physically attracted to him, but we had a lot in common, and so over time, I was attracted to him. We were able to build that relationship. But with this guy, it was an immediate, instant, it was lust. It was a lust attraction. And I was screwed up and desperate to make another relationship work, because I was so desperate to find a guy, I wanted to find a dad for Aiden. Aiden was still little at the time, and for some reason I still thought it was so important to get a male figure into Aiden's life when he was little. I thought that was a very, very important. Okay, so that's another reason why I was like, okay, you're not gonna be my future, boom, next. So I found this guy. Now, Comic Book Store Guy had a kid, okay? Me being an only child was not used to fighting. Aiden has siblings, older siblings from his father's previous marriage, but they were older. So Aiden never fought with his siblings because they were huge age differences apart. They were all like 13, 10 years difference apart. So they were in different stages. Like, his older sister doted on him. And so they never fought. When I was dating Comic Book Store Guy, because our kids were so close in age, they were only a year apart. Oh my God, they used to drive me cuckoo banana nutsies. They would be really good friends and play together, and then somebody would do something and they're like, I'm not friends with you anymore. Then they go telling each other. I don't know how you people do it that have more than one kid. I really don't, because I'm fighting and going tattletaling and all that. Oh my God, that made me rage. So my next guy, I'm like, screw that. I'm gonna date a guy that doesn't have any kids. Yes, but there's plus and minuses to everything. So when I found this guy and I thought he was super hot and I was really attracted to him, plus it was cool because he had a career. He had worked for the same place, and this is huge in the dating world. This guy had worked for the same place for over a decade. That's huge. Every guy that I go on online dating, they're like, I just started this job, been working there for a couple months. I've never known anybody to even have like a year, been at a job for more than 1 year is amazing in the online dating world. People just jump jobs and jump relationships just simultaneously. It's crazy. So this guy had a career. He owned his house. He had 2 dogs that I loved. And I think that's kind of why I just really put him on a pedestal. The thing that impressed me the most, we had a lot in common. We were close in age. We were huge animal lovers. So that was huge to me because I'm such an animal lover. And he loved all animals, not just the cute, because I don't just do cute cats and dogs. As you know, I got my lizards, and he liked lizards, snakes, he had turtles, everything. So that was really cool. We had that in common. But here's the thing, though. And my dad tried to tell me this. He really did. Because when I was dating and I was having issues and stuff like that. Okay, so, yes, the guys that have been married and the guys that have kids, that's what makes them the wonderful, great guys that they are. It makes you a more well-rounded person because you've had that experience. But it does make your life more complicated, right? Because here's the thing. When you date somebody that has kids, yes, they have more life experience, they're more well-rounded, that kind of thing. But there's a bad side about it. They will compare because I always say the biggest critics of parents are other parents, which is so fucked up because parenting is so freaking hard. We should all come together. But there's a lot of judgmental parents out there. So I'm kind of more of a laid back, hands off kind of parent. There's some people that are really control freaks. So like the comic book store guy, he was a military guy, and his son had to call him sir. Yeah, at 6 years old. Yes, sir. I was not that kind of parenting. So he did not like the fact, he felt like Aiden walked all over me, right? And I felt like he was like a freaking Nazi with his kids. So that's that's the bad side of dating somebody with kids, is they will compare their child or your parenting style to your kid and your parenting style, which is screwed up because parenting kids, they're individuals. It's all different. Anyhow, but I didn't listen to my dad. My dad's like, but someone that's been married, someone that has kids, they're more well-rounded, they have more life experience. Yeah, whatever, Dad. I don't want to deal with all that junk anymore. So I met a guy that didn't have any kids, right? Well, I kind of forgot what it was like before I had kids, okay? You have a different mindset. And believe me, I know that mindset because for a long time I didn't want to have kids. So I totally get when people are like, gross, kids. Because I'm kind of like that, I always jokingly say I barely tolerate my own, let alone someone else's. Because I get that. But the thing about him was I put him on a high pedestal because I wanted the relationship to work out so badly. But here's the thing, he was threatened and jealous of Aiden. Yes, Aiden was 6 years old at the time. And at that time, he was more like his autism, you could tell. A lot of people now can't tell that Aiden's autistic. If you go out in public with him, loud crowds and noises, you'll know he's autistic. But for the most part, he's grown out of a lot of his autism. But back then, he didn't. So he said that Aiden was giving him the stink eye. Aiden wasn't making contact to him. Aiden never made eye contact to anybody at that time. When Aiden was 5 and 6 years old and severely autistic at that moment, he would look down and just mumble. So how is my child giving you the stink eye when he doesn't even make eye contact with people? I mean, he barely made eye contact with me at that time. So the main problem with the relationship that I think that I had with Jason is, one, he didn't like sharing. It was more on his terms. The relationship was very much on his terms. I always had to go to his place. He always wanted to make sure that Aiden would go see his dad. I made Aiden go to his dad's all the time, even though Aiden hated going to his dad's, because I put him on such a high pedestal and I wanted this relationship to work so badly that's what I did. Okay, so here's how our relationship ended. This is how it came to an end. We were together for 10 months. 10 months. And it was hard. I really kind of felt like I was always walking on eggshells with him because he was very just kind of like moody and temperamental, and everything was on his terms. I always had to spend the night at his house. When he spent the night at my place one time, he ended up having a meltdown like a little girl at the slumber party, like the first time a little girl away from home at a slumber party, and was like, I gotta go home, I can't sleep here. So he had to go home. Yeah. So this is how he dumped me. He's called Envelope Guy. Okay, this is how he dumped me. Okay, we've been together for 10 months. 10 months. Now, Aiden wasn't feeling well. He was sick. I was supposed to send him off to his dad's because every other weekend I had to go spend the weekend with Envelope Dude. And so, and I just didn't see it at the time because I was so in love with him. Now, of course, looking back, I can see how screwed up the situation was. But you know, like I always told my dad, I'm knee deep in shit and I can't smell it, okay? And that's what I was. Anyhow, so this is how he ended it with me, okay? I was supposed to go over there. Aiden was supposed to go to his dad's. Aiden wasn't feeling well. He started getting sick. And I didn't want to send him to his dad's. I kept him. So I canceled on him, okay? And he had a little hissy fit, I guess. I think I just chickened out and just texted him. And then I'd stayed up with Aiden all night. He was really sick. And so I think it was, I don't know, it was early in the morning, like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I hear a ring on the doorbell. Somebody's ringing the doorbell. And Aiden was up and he's, oh my God, there's a toy. And there was a toy. And here's the thing. I had bought Aiden a Christmas present when I was out with him. Okay, we were out and about one weekend. I bought him a Christmas present. And I kept it at his garage because I didn't want Aiden to see the Christmas present. So this is how the guy dumped me after 10 months. We were together for 10 months. And he was pissed off because I wanted to stay home and take care of my sick 6-year-old son. Okay? And he was pissed off at me because he felt like he wasn't a priority in my life. Okay? I really made him a priority. God, poor Aiden. I had to ship him off to his dad's all the time, and I feel so guilty that I did that, but I did it. Okay. So, 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what it's like after you've been up with a sick kid at night, right? You're like, ugh, you know? You don't even know where you're passing out, right? You're just like, you pass out wherever. You've been up all night with your sick kid, you know? And so all of a sudden we hear the doorbell at 8 in the morning. And Aiden's like, a toy. He sees a toy at the window. It was Fisher Price, Little People. You know, Little People, I don't know what it was, a school, playground, I don't know what the freak it was. But it was something, and anyways, he saw it and he was all excited. So, and I was like, and I knew. I mean, the minute I saw Aiden's Christmas present, and we were, I don't know when he dumped me, I think October. Okay, and here's Aiden's Christmas present sitting on the, I'm like, and Aiden handed me the key. Here, Mama. Called me Mama back then. I called him from the South because he still called me Mama. Here, Mama. And it was the key to my house because we had exchanged keys because we were washing each other's pets when we would be on vacation. I was doing the rat thing and he had his 2 dogs. So when he was on vacation, we were watching people's pets. So I'm freaking out. And I'm in full, Aiden's cracking up because
I didn't realize I gave you the key.
Yeah, Aiden, this is the first time Aiden's hearing this story because he was 6 years old and didn't remember, yeah. And so he's cracking up in the background and my heart is sinking, my heart is racing. I am not a go with the flow person. I am emotionally driven. I am a drama queen. I am flipping out. And I call him barely able to breathe. I'm like, oh my God, you're dumping me. Oh my God, my whole freaking world. Like you feel like the world is spinning. And oh my gosh, I wish I didn't get like that. I don't now. I hope I don't now. But back then I was cray psycho girl. I was crying because the thing also I did with this relationship, not only did I put him in a pedestal, I built the relationship up in my head. I don't know if you people do this. This is a thing that I do because I can't freaking live in the moment. I built it up in my head because I thought he was the perfect guy and I couldn't wait to marry him and we're going to have dogs and all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so when Aiden handed me the key and was like, here's the key, Mama. I freaked out. I called him. I was sobbing. I could barely breathe. He's like, get yourself together. I mean, I sounded so psycho. And I was begging him. I know this is so pathetic. Begging him not to break up with me, okay? Here's what I've learned. If you're on the phone sobbing, begging someone to not dump you, yeah, they're probably not the right person for you. Yeah, I know that now. I'm a much stronger person. I have a different mindset, but back then I was desperate. I was desperate and needing love. And so that's what I did. I was psycho with him. And so of course he was like, get yourself together, click, you know. So who do I go to? Who's my go-to guy? And this is why I'm having such a hard time, because he was my go-to guy. And as you know, all these other guys have been losers. So I called my dad. And so my dad had to come up and take care of us. And it turned out that Aiden, the reason he was sick was he had what was called impetigo. And it's this weird thing that gets like a rashy thing all over your skin. So he ended up having that. And so my dad had to come up and take care of us. You know, I was an emotional wreck because I thought I was going to marry this man. I know, it's so silly. I thought I was going to marry this man. And meanwhile, you know, he dumped me. Now, I should back up. Aiden handed me the key. What he didn't know, because he was only 6 years old and he was all happy with his Fisher-Price toy, not realizing that I just got dumped, he had taken the key out of an envelope and thrown the envelope away. Later, I was in the garbage and I found the envelope, and that was my Dear John or my Dear Johanna letter. Basically, he said that he was upset that I didn't make him a priority in my life, that I didn't have enough time for him, and that seeing me and being in a relationship with me was a chore. Yes, a chore. I thought I was going to marry the man, and I was a chore. So yes, that is how my fifth guy ended. But let me tell you a funny side note. Right before I started this job that I'm working, my favorite shop ever, where I'm working now, my grooming shop that I love, the third grooming shop, third one's a charm. Right before, about 3 years ago, right before I started working at this shop that I'm working at now, he sent me a message on Facebook Messenger, envelope dude. And he wanted to see how I was doing. You know, the phishing. Hello there. I've been thinking about you. How are you doing? And get this, Aiden. When I checked out his Facebook profile, he had a son. So now, guess who's the single parent dating? Yes, karma, baby, karma. Okay, I never responded. Here's the thing. This is my motto. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So when people send me nasty text messages or nasty, or even hello there, how have you been? Or old guys, you know, looking for the booty, I just don't respond. I don't ever respond because you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I didn't respond, but I just laughed. Oh my God, I thought, oh, look at you now. The single parent, dating. Good luck with that, honey. Okay, it's time for the hat now. I'm gonna shake it up and then Aiden will pick. What good story. Actually, they're never good stories. Well, I mean, they're good because they're over. Yeah, that's the good thing about these stories. They're over, and I'm learning from them. Yeah. Okay. Pick.
Okey-dokey. Is that it from? Yeah.
Okay.
Good kisser?
Oh, good kisser. Yes. I think, okay, yes. Okay, I get all embarrassed because I was like a little teenage girl with this guy. Okay, so I met this guy on Plenty of Fish, and the funny thing is we kind of bonded over TV shows. We would talk about our messages back and forth in the beginning was over TV shows. We talked about, he watched all the shows I watched, and I thought this is amazing. We even talked about Golden Girls. Yeah, Golden Girls. We talked about Sex and the City, and of course I should have realized when he said his favorite character was Samantha Jones. I kind of should have realized. Yeah, I know. But I know. Yeah. So, anyways, he was cool, and he from all what I knew, he actually did have a career. He did a lot of he was an entrepreneur, so he did a lot of different side businesses. He owned different businesses, mostly parties and events stuff that he would do. You never met him because you were little at the time. And when Aiden was little at the time, I had this rule where I wouldn't let people meet. What was the rule, Aiden? After a few months or something, Aiden would get mad. Aiden, you didn't like this rule. Aiden wanted to meet them right away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want you to meet them right away. Envelope guy, Mr. who didn't care for Aiden and didn't care for children, was all mad because he was like, why are you trying to keep some secret? Why can't I meet your kid why do I have to wait a month or so? Yeah, that should have been a sign too. Anyways, you never met him. And he was only in my life for 2 weeks. I think he was married. I do. I'll never prove it, but I think he was married.
What's up with you and thinking people are married?
There's a lot of signs, Aiden. There are signs for married men. Okay, people that are married.
Yeah,
and
but all of it's just been circumstantial.
I know, but why do we have the same circumstantial evidence? Okay, here's where I think that people are married. 1, the reason why I thought this guy was married, they say, I don't talk over the phone. If you want to call me, let me know and I'll make it arrangement. You have to arrange to talk to them on the phone. They're not alone, that's why. Number 2, here's another sign, and this has happened with other girlfriends of mine too.
Well, that's great and all, but my friends and I always arrange to talk to each other.
Aiden. Yeah, it's different when you're 15. Of course you have to arrange to get your parents and you're in school. Yeah, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
But any adult, I'm sorry.
Night.
Yeah, I don't care. It's just, if you can't talk to that person, and that's the other thing, if you can't call somebody at night, that's a sign too. Okay, that's a sign too. I'll never know for a fact, but the only reason why is because you could never call him. He didn't like talking on the phone, supposedly. Entrepreneur who doesn't like talking on the phone, but okay,
you don't
whatever.
Need to talk on the phone if you're an entrepreneur. You can
Aiden, I think you do.
A secretary.
Well, whatever. And I do spy on people on Facebook, and I'm sorry. I saw some kids that looked like him, and anyways, I think he was married. But he was a good kisser. So we went on a couple dates, and here's the thing about me. And I've had a really hard time in my adult life doing PDA. I didn't even know what that stood for. When somebody asked me, when I first started online dating and someone says, and how do you feel about PDAs? This is back in the day. I'm like, I don't have a PDA. I thought it was those things you hold. I'm like, PDA? What the freak does that stand for? Public displays of affection. Apparently that's what that stands for. I didn't know this. So with him, I was all PDA, and I don't usually do PDA. And the reason why I have struggles with issues with public displays of affection is because I'm a PK, okay? And there was a trip that I went on when I was in high school. I went on a camping trip, and I was a young girl, and I had my first boyfriend, and I didn't know this whole thing about PDA, and I was all over him, white on rice, because I was young and hormonal and whatever. And some of my dad's parishioners had some issues, and it made me very self-conscious about that. I kind of always felt like people were watching me. And so with him, when I met him on Plenty of Fish, and the first date that we did, we went to the movie theater. And then after the movies, Aiden, your mother, I still can't believe this. These moments are like, is this really me? Your mother sat on a bench and made out with him. Right there for the whole world to see. Yes. And I just, I was in the moment making out with a guy, and you're thinking, oh my God, am I really doing this? Is this really me? Is this really happening? Oh my gosh, is this me? This can't be me. This is not, I don't do these kind of things. But it was amazing, and it was nice. And he was a really good kisser. But here's the thing, he was so unavailable. He would just pop into my life every once in a while. And I think when his wife was out of town, I really do. I know Aiden thinks that I'm very cynical and skeptical about this, but I'm sorry. I am sorry. If you are single and you're a bachelor, I should be able to call you any freaking time. You should be able to come over anytime. But these people that have me on standby, or you can't call them, I'll call you, like there's some, agent, don't call me, I'll call you. I'm sorry, that's suspicious to me. That just is. That just really is. It just is. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that he could have been married? I think so, because I couldn't talk to him at night. He would disappear for days on end, and I think that's suspicious. Another thing that I noticed that on...
Wait.
What?
Was he nice, and did he have money?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
He was probably married, yeah. Yeah, thank you. If he's nice, he was nice. He owned his home. He had he was an entrepreneur. Yeah, he was probably married. And then looking at his Facebook pictures, Facebook, I think he was married, Aiden. So the next time that he popped into my life with a little hello there message, I said, who is this? Knowing perfectly well who it was, but to piss him off. And that's the kiss of death to these people, is when you say, who is this? I'm not in your phone anymore, screw you. Yeah, that's what they do. So that's how I got rid of him. But he was a good kisser, and we made out. How many dates did we go on? 2. Yeah, because he was a married man. 2 dates. And I don't remember. I remember the first movie, but I don't remember the second movie. Maybe because we were making out. We kissed a lot. He was a good kisser, and it was weird because there I was, me, making out like I was 17 again. It was crazy. But anyways, that's the good kisser. Okay, so thank you so much for watching another episode of Johanna Banana. According to Aiden, I don't think I talked as long as the last episode. So I think this episode will be shorter. I hope this will be my good 20-minute episode, I'm hoping. Aiden and I, we got some henna tattoos. I am going to be doing something for my midlife crisis. I'm going to be getting a tattoo, another tattoo. Yeah, I'm a big baby. I'm a big baby when it comes to pain, okay? But we got some henna tattoos, and I got puppy paws. I don't know if you can see it. Aiden got a plane.
Yes.
A plane and a rocket.
And
but
peeling off now.
Peeling off. These last about, I don't know how long they last, about a week. Anyways,
Yeah.
Lotto Girl found these really good puppy paw tattoos. They're like watercolors, and they're beautiful. So I'm gonna go get a tattoo next month. But I'm taking Lotto Girl. I told her she has to come with me because I'm a big baby and somebody has to hold my hand. I'm terrified. The last time I got a tattoo, Aiden, your sister had to hold my hand. It was so scary. But the thing is, I'm a cutesy girl, and I like cutesy stuff, and I love animals, and I think it'd be so cute to get watercolored puppy paws on my. This is my big buff shoulder. I do my brushing with, so I think it'd be really cool if I had some watercolored puppy paws right there. So that one thing I am going to do, because you only have to do that once. I mean, I guess you can do some maintenance in between, but it's not like my hair extension project where I would probably be at the freaking beauty salon once a month or every other month. But yeah, so I will do a video clip of me getting a tattoo because, oh my God, I'm such a big baby. Such a big baby, but it's so pretty. Like, Lotto Girl showed me the tattoo today, and it's so gorgeous. So I want to go do it. And Aiden, you'll come with me, and we're going to do a video clip too, so all of you can come with me too, because I am a big baby. I am such a big baby. Oh my God. Anyways, so I'll be getting a tattoo next month, and next week we're going to be doing another pet episode. So if any of you have pet pictures, new pet pictures, I don't care if it's your same pet again, a different pose, whatever, please send us your pet pictures, any pets. I don't care if it's a pet rock that you hand painted and it looks freaking adorable. I will post it on the show. Okay, it's going to be the end of the slideshow. And also, I should let you know, we just had some new developing news with KP. She got some new chickens. What were their names? And Oh God.
It was.
She has such cute names. Anyway.
I remember. I know one's Big Bertha.
Yeah, one's Big Bertha. Anyways, I want to let you guys know that KP got some more chickens, and one of them is Big Bertha. And so we got to get some pictures of the new the new chickens. She is going to be getting some babies later on this year, little chickadees. So of course I'll be doing videos of her little chickadees. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up because here I go again, blah, 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 blah. So thank you for watching another episode of Johanna Banana. Next week, let's get our pet on. Yes, pet time.